What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Down below, you're going to see all of my socials. If you would like to give those a follow, I would also greatly appreciate that as well. So, let's get into this one then. So, this is a review, obviously, of Leeds versus West Brom. And the game ended 1-1. I think if you were going to give sort of like the cliff notes of the actual game itself, what you would turn around and say is that it was very much after the Lord Mayor's show, this game itself, overall. The performance wasn't great. We seemed very, very slow, very, very like we were running in treacle. Just nothing seemed to be coming off very well. Certain players I didn't feel like were performing to what they needed to do. So there is that issue that we do have, that when Aronson isn't on it 100% or he's not playing his best game overall, you can see the difference in midfield and how we struggle to control the midfield quite a bit. Rothwell had a decent game. Tanaka was fine, a little bit quiet. James didn't have his best game at all. Solomon, exactly the same, didn't have his best game at all. Yes, James gets the assist, but you know, it just wasn't quite there today. I think from a pragmatic point of view, if you look at this little sequence of games that we've just had, so Sunderland, Sheffield United, West Brom, had somebody said to you at the start, we'll give you don't need to play the games, we'll just give you 7 points, you'd go, yeah, I'll take that all day long. Had we drawn against Sheffield United and then beaten West Brom today, we'd all be happy. So I think we need to look at it in the context of everything. We have built up grace enough to be able to have a little bit of a blip, if you want to call it that. I don't really call it a blip. It was a point. It wasn't a good performance. Genuinely, it wasn't a good performance. We didn't manage to get anything, like I say, going. The goal that we scored was absolutely brilliant. Firpo, lovely header. He's a left centre forward now, apparently, who was technically the star player on the pitch according to FootMob. He got a 7.9 rating. The goal that Furlong scored for West Brom, there's a few things that annoyed me about that goal. The first thing was giving up the free kick in the first place. There was no need for Stroik to do what he did. So there's that. And then the second issue that I have is nobody was covering for Furlong on the right-hand side. So you had Bogle that was kind of marking Hegem and Furlong at the same time, and he got attracted to Hegem, I think. But what he should have been doing was he should have been watching for Furlong coming round the outside of him. Yes, you could say that Mellier's in no man's land. However, my bigger issue is that not covering. Tanaka lets Hegem get past him, and I think that's what causes the issue, because then it's a kind of Bogle's like, well, do I stay or do I go? And from the flight of the ball, it looks like it's Hegem that's going to be getting it, but it's not, and it's just one of those things. And then after that, for the rest of the first half, they were on top. West Brom they'd kind of gotten back into the game, and we were being very, very sloppy, and we were struggling a little bit to sort of impose ourselves onto the game, or to do what we needed to do to get the extra goal and to get the result, etc., so on and so forth. Second half came round, there were no substitutes, it started the same as what it was, but we seemed to have a bit more about us in the second half. There was a little bit more going on. We're still sort of struggling from a pace point of view and quickness of thought, and just seeing there was like stray passes that were going here, there and everywhere. It just wasn't overall a very good performance. Joseph was unlucky hitting the crossbar. Some would argue he probably needs to hit the target with that, but with his season, that's how it goes. Perot had a really, really tame shot from a pass from Tanaka, I believe it was, and then James right at the end smashes it into the side netting when he might have been better cutting it back. But look, it is what it is. When you look at the momentum graph, we were, in terms of from a positional sense, we were the more attacking side. 53% to 47 gives you the feeling that it's a little bit more even than what it was. Expected XG, ours was 1.2, theirs was 0.77. We had 15 shots, they had 7. There was a lot of block though. They had 2 big chances, we had 1. We scored our big chance, they scored one of their big chances. And look, given the rest of the results that have gone on today, that now puts us at 3 points above Sheffield United. So we're still in the lead. The goal difference effectively is another point anyway, so that's fine. I'm, again, not overly concerned. I never thought that we were going to absolutely run away with it, that we were absolutely going to just steamroller everybody that we come into. This little pocket of games that we've just had now, so like I said before, the Sunderland, Sheffield United and West Brom were probably the trickiest grouping of 3 games that we've had this season all together in one go. So we've managed to get 7 from 9 from that, so great, we park that and we move on. I think we just put today down to people not just being out the races, and to be fair, the performances from the last 2 performances have been like nearly otherworldly, so we're kind of like, it's almost like we were playing with a hangover. That's the easiest way to explain it, I think, and how I feel about it. I'm meh because we didn't win, but it's more important for me that we don't lose. We get a point. That's another point on from third down. That's the important thing, is that we keep that gap growing from third down, which is what we want to do. I would love to win the championship, and I think we could be on course to do it if we keep doing what we're doing. The most important thing is getting promoted. That's all I care about, is getting promoted. So it's not the best of days by far, but it's not the worst of days. We got the point. We're still top. Move on to the next game, which is going to be huge against Millwall at home. I am so going to that game as well. So yeah, that's it really, as a kind of a review of the actual game itself. There's not a lot else to say, really. Oh, yeah, special mention for Rodon with that tackle right at the very, very end. Again, an absolute hero of a defender. Love him more and more and more and more and more. So, yeah, overall, we can't be too complacent. And we were a little bit complacent today. So, I know Farker wasn't happy with the way that it went, but it could have been potentially a lot worse. And these are the types of sticky games that you could end up losing. And thankfully, we didn't, which is the main thing. Click the like button if you've enjoyed. Any comments that you want to make, feel free. Put them in the comment section down below. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. And we will see you soon. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Cheers.